Investiture of the Gods, Chapter 20.
So our story kicks off with the West Earl, Jichang. Hugely revered figure, known for his wisdom, right?
Yeah.
But he's imprisoned, unjustly, in a place called Yuli City.
Which is now Tanging County in Hebei Province, for anyone wondering. And his captor is the infamous King Zhou, tyrannical, cruel. Really the archetypal bad king in many ways. Jichang is essentially a political pawn.
But here's what's crucial. Jichang isn't just, wasting away in prison. He's actually channeling this immense pressure.
That's right. Instead of despair, he dives into scholarship. Profound stuff. He takes Fuxie's 8 trigrams and expands them first into 64 hexagrams, then 384 lines.
Wow.
Yeah, and this becomes the foundation of the Zhou. You know it as the Book of Changes. This isn't just busy work. It's this incredible act of resilience, turning suffering into wisdom.
Wisdom that would guide generations, but also help him face what was coming next, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because his quiet study gets shattered. One day, he's playing his other, this instrument that's deeply connected to your inner state.
And he hears something wrong.
He hears a killing sound. That's the translation, sheng or sheng, from the thickest string, a really discordant, ominous sound. For a sage like him, this isn't random noise.
No, it's an omen, a bad one.
Yeah, a terrible one. He stops immediately, uses gold coins for divination, a standard practice then, and the answer he gets. Well, it's devastating. The wisdom he'd just deepened basically reflected this horrifying future back at him.
What did it say?
It revealed his own son would face a shattered body, Sishin Zihua, a gruesome end,
Oh my God.
and worse. To avoid his own death, Jichang himself would have to consume his son's flesh.
I can't even begin to imagine that, the internal conflict.
Unthinkable.
Yeah.
The text says he wept, but only inwardly. He couldn't show it, revealing he knew would seal his own fate, maybe his son's too, even faster.
So he internalizes this horror.
Completely. He even composed 2 poems, wrestling with this impossible grief, this choice he couldn't speak of, just to survive. It really makes you ask, where's the line? When does self-preservation violate something fundamental?
Can it ever be justified? Especially for a leader?
That's the core of it, isn't it? In that brutal world, his survival wasn't just personal. It was tied to his lineage, his people's future. Maybe the horrific sacrifice becomes a strategic necessity for a greater good, kind of redefines those bonds under extreme duress.
His wisdom, knowing what was coming, becomes this unbearable burden.
Heavier than any chains, and that burden. It's about to be tested in the most grotesque way possible. King Zhou, playing his psychological games.
He sends an envoy with a gift box.
Right, a dragon phoenix feast box. Sounds grand, doesn't it? The envoy says it's deer cakes from the king's hunt, a gesture of concern for Jichang's long imprisonment.
But it's not deer cakes, is it?
No, it's his son, made into cakes. This was a calculated sadistic test. King Zhou knew about Jichang's reputation for foresight.
So the test was, if Jichang eats it, he doesn't really have foresight. His wisdom is a sham. If he refuses, knowing what it is, he's defiant and doomed anyway.
Exactly. Zhou wanted to debunk him, break his spirit, justify keeping him locked up. And Jichang, knowing exactly what was in that box, he kneels.
He eats them.
He eats 3 of them, offers profuse thanks, all while hiding this agony, this unspeakable knowledge, the self-control. It's almost unimaginable.
The envoy watching this, what does he think?
He completely buys it, concludes Jichang's wisdom is just talk, false Zhu Sheng. The deception worked, at least on the surface.
But inside, Jichang's heart is like knives. Xinru Dajiao, unable to cry out.
Yeah.
That level of stoicism, what does it tell us about the pressures back then?
It speaks volumes. Any weakness, any sign he knew the king's game meant instant death. Not just for him, potentially for everyone connected to him. His stoicism was strategy, a silent weapon.
And it also shows King Zhu's insecurity, right? He needed to disprove Jichang's wisdom.
Absolutely. It threatened his authority. So the envoy goes back to the capital, Charge, finds King Zhou playing chess.
Casually playing chess
Yeah.
with his 2 infamous advisors, Fei Zong and Yu Hun, notorious characters.
The treacherous, yeah. The envoy reports back. Jichang ate the deer cakes. Very grateful. Totally fooled.
And King Zhou, he buys it too, initially.
He does. He actually considers releasing Jichang. Thinks, okay, 7 years is enough. His wisdom was fake anyway. He felt he'd successfully humiliated him.
But then Fei Zong steps in.
Right. Fei Zong, the more cynical, maybe more astute of the 2, he argues, no, wait. A man that wise, he must have known.
So Fei Zong sees through it.
He does, or at least he interprets it that way. He says Jichang only ate it as a desperate measure to survive, to get out. Fei Zong's words are chillingly clear. If he refused to eat it, he would again be massacred.
He understood it was a calculated play for survival.
Exactly. And then he advises the king against releasing Jichang.
Mm-hmm.
And says, look, the southeast is already rebelling. Releasing a wise, respected leader like Jichang now, you're just adding another problem.
And King Zhou listens.
He does, easily swayed by paranoia and bad counsel. So Jichang's suffering continues, all because of this malicious interpretation, this political maneuvering.
Meanwhile, back in Shiki, Jichang's home turf, the news arrives.
Yeah, the devastating news reaches Jichang's second son, Jifa. Some of Wu Yikao's followers manage to escape Qiaohe. They arrive, weeping.
And they tell Jifa.
They tell him his brother, their prince, wasn't just killed, he was made into meat paste. Jiang. That specific, gruesome detail. It's meant to crush them.
And Jifa is devastated, nearly dies of grief himself.
Understandably. It's catastrophic news. Not just the loss, but the deliberate public humiliation. It's a political act by Zhou as much as a personal tragedy.
And that grief, it doesn't last long before it turns into something else.
Fury. Righteous fury. General Nangongshi, a powerful military leader, he's had enough. He calls for immediate war.
Just march on the capital.
Yep. His cry is basically, take the 5 passes, kill the tyrant, the Hunjin, establish a new ruler. These 5 passes, remember, were heavily fortified. A direct assault. Hugely risky.
But others agree.
Oh, yeah. Key figures, the 4 sages, 8 excellencies, generals like Tai Dian, Hong Yao, they back him up. The palace erupts. Everyone's shouting for war. It's about to boil over, potentially ruining everything Jichang worked for.
So how do you stop that? That wave of righteous anger threatening to crash everything?
Enter Sen Yisheng, high-ranking official. He steps in dramatically, calls for Nangongshi to be executed as a rebellious minister and traitor.
Whoa, he calls for his own general's execution.
Shocking, right? But it stops the chaos cold. He argues this rash attack would doom Jichang, waste their strength, betray their lord's principles of patience and loyalty.
He's playing the long game. He reminds them of the prophecy.
Exactly. Jichang's own divination. 7 years of calamity. When the calamity is full, there will be a glorious return. No need to send people. Acting now undermines Jichang's foresight, his plan.
So what is San Yisheng's plan? Not war, but
Cunning diplomacy. Or maybe calculated corruption is a better term.
he wants to bribe them.
He proposes sending a massive bribe to the very officials who just conspired against Jichang, Fei Zong and Yu Han.
The guys who advised keeping him locked up.
The very same. San Yixing argues these treacherous officials, these Jianshan, are greedy. Bribe them enough, they'll suddenly find reasons to praise Jichang to the king. Secure his release that way.
Wow. Talk about pragmatism?
It's deeply pragmatic. Let Jichang return, rebuild strength, consolidate power. Then, when King Zhu's evil peaks, rally the world and overthrow him legitimately. It's like, the enemy of my enemy is my temporary, very corrupt friend.
That's a tough pill to swallow, morally. Using the corruption you want to destroy.
Absolutely. You have to wonder, how do Jifa and San Yixing live with that? Pouring wealth into the pockets of these guys. Does the greater good excuse it?
Or is it a compromise that stains them?
It's that ethical tightrope again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Using the tools of the system you despise to ultimately dismantle it. Uncomfortable, maybe necessary. Their focus was likely on the long-term goal, restoring justice, even if it meant getting their hands dirty first.
So, Jifa, he agrees.
Initially stunned, yeah, but he sees the wisdom, the strategic necessity, so they gather the bribe. An impressive pile of stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Bright pearls, white jade, colorful silks, gold, jade belts, Mingzhu, Baibi, Keduan Biaoli, Huangjin, Yudai. 2 identical shares, 1 for each official. It's almost like a shopping list for bribery.
The detail there, it shows how calculated it was.
Exactly. San Yisheng knew his targets, knew what appealed to their greed. And the scale of the text mentions 100 yi of gold for each. And he was about 20 ounces. So we're talking a fortune, a truly staggering amount.
Signaling how desperate they were and how valuable Jichang's freedom was. Who takes it?
Tai Dian and Hong Yao, the generals who wanted war earlier. They're chosen for this risky mission.
And they have to go undercover.
Yeah. Disguised as merchants, Shang Jia.
Well,
A clever way to travel with valuable goods without attracting too much attention. They face a long, dangerous journey to Chaosh.
Through those 5 passes.
Through several checkpoints, yeah. Sishui Pass, Tuanyun Pass, Lintong Pass. Crossing the Yellow River at Mengjin. Each one is a potential trap. The risk involved is immense.
just getting there is a feat.
Absolutely. It required incredible nerve, meticulous planning. The journey itself is symbolic of the treacherous path they're taking.
So they make it to Zhou.
They do. Taidian takes the lead, delivers his share of the gifts, and a letter from San Yisheng to Fei Zong.
And the letter? I bet it's something else.
Oh, it's a masterpiece of flattery and manipulation. Praises Fei Zhong's great virtue, which is hilarious, right? Acknowledges Jichang's unforgivable crime, purely political talk. Thanks Fei Zhong for saving Jichang, implying his imprisonment is actually an act of mercy.
Laying it on thick.
Super thick. It explicitly mentions the gifts. 2 pairs of white jade, quadrigi of gold, 4 sets of silk, calling them insufficient offerings for such a great man. Pure buttering up.
And then the ask.
The plea. Show mercy. Extra legal benevolence. Think of Jichang's old age, his old mother, his young kids. Just say a word to tone the heavens, get him released. It hits all the notes. Vanity, greed, even a tiny bit of feigned deference to the law.
And Fei Zong, does he buy it or just see the gold?
He sees the gold. The letter confirms his importance, but the text notes he internally calculates the gifts are worth tens of thousands of gold. He knows exactly what they want.
Does he agree?
After a moment's thought, probably weighing profit versus risk, he tells Taidian, go back. Tell San Yisheng I'll arrange it. Soon. No need for a reply. Smooth. Hong Yao gets a similar result with Yuhan.
So the gamble paid off.
It did. Cynical, yes. Effective, absolutely. San Yisheng understood the levers of power in that corrupt court. He knew the king listened to these guys, so they were the target.
It's a harsh lesson in how power worked then. Maybe still works sometimes.
Perhaps. It shows that sometimes you have to play the game, even if you hate the rules, to achieve your objective.
So, Taidian and Hong Yao head back to Jili.
Swiftly. Mission accomplished, bribes accepted.
Yeah?
The wheels are turning for Jichang's release, the stage is set. But how they got there? Through strategic corruption, built on Jichang's own unimaginable sacrifice. It's quite something. And in the court of King Zhou, it's opulent, sure, but also decadent, rotten, really.
Definitely. King Zhou is infamous for his cruelty, his excesses, yet, and this is key, surprisingly vulnerable to flattery, dangerously so.
So paint the picture for us. Where does this particular deception begin?
Well, we find King Zhou in his Zixing Tower, this place of sheer indulgence he liked to escape to, and he's in a great mood, just won 2 games of chess.
Oh, hey, feeling good about himself.
Exactly. He's got Fei Zong and Yuhan, his corrupt buddies, right there. He orders this big banquet, just soaking in his own supposed success.
And then comes this really jarring moment you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it's deeply disturbing. In his good mood, King Zhou starts reminiscing. He fondly recalls Bo Yicao's beautiful guggen playing, even some monkey singing.
Which is chilling because
Bo Yicao was Jichang's eldest son. The son King Zhou had brutally murdered turned into meat paste.
and then forced Jichang to eat. Unbelievable.
And now King Zhou just dismisses Jichang's famous divination about eating his own son's flesh as just delusional talk.
Wow. That's not just being out of touch. That's like
Yeah,
profound denial,
yeah.
willful blindness. What does that tell you about him?
It shows a mind totally isolated by power, absolutely no empathy. He's so used to getting his way, however cruel, that the suffering he causes isn't even real to him anymore.
And that blindness creates the perfect opening.
Precisely. For our 2 manipulators, Fei Zong and Yuhan. And you have to remember, Fei Zong had already pocketed some very nice gifts from San Yisheng, Jichang's envoy.
Ah, right. Sent specifically to get him to argue for Jichang's release.
Exactly. This was never about justice. It was about cash.
So Fei Zong sees the king is in this suggestible state, and he makes his move.
He does a complete 180. This is the same guy who was calling Jichang a traitor just moments before.
Seriously, what does he say now?
Now, he claims his, look at this, heart-to-heart confidant went to Yuli, where Jichang was imprisoned, and found him incredibly loyal. Found him praying every month for the kingdom, for peace, for good harvests.
Oh, come on.
I know. And the nerve. He even uses that famous proverb, distance tests a horse's strength, time reveals a person's heart, to explain why he suddenly sees Jichang differently now.
Wow. Just brazen hypocrisy.
It's pure corruption on display. He twists a proverb about truth emerging over time to serve his own immediate greedy purpose. Yuhan, meanwhile, he's watching this.
And he smells an opportunity.
Absolutely. He suspects Fei Zong got paid too, probably by Shiki, Jichang's domain. So when King Zi turns to him, asks his opinion,
He jumps right in.
he agrees completely, but adds his own little spin. Claims Jichang, despite all his suffering in prison, actually taught the local people loyalty, filial piety, virtue, making him a sage.
A sage. While imprisoned by the king, he's supposedly betrayed.
Right. And then Yu Han adds, very smoothly, that he would have said the exact same thing, even if Fei Zong hadn't spoken first.
So it looks like they independently came to the same conclusion.
Exactly. It's a coordinated performance, playing King Zhu's vanity like a drum.
And King Zhou just laps it up.
Yeah.
Utterly fooled by the same officials who were bad-mouthing Jichang minutes ago. So he thinks, maybe I'll pardon him.
Yes, but this is where it gets even more interesting. The pardon idea quickly escalates into something much bigger, a promotion. It's like a Trojan horse, really.
How so?
Well, Fei Zong starts by arguing Jichang will be eternally grateful for this rebirth grace from the king. He'll serve like a loyal dog, basically, just pure sycophantic language.
Playing right into Zhu's ego.
Totally. But then Yu Han, always trying to outdo Fei Zong and make sure Jichang owes him big time, comes up with something even grander.
Okay, what's grander than a pardon?
Making him a king, specifically Wen Wang, the cultured king. And get this. He suggests giving him the white staff and yellow axe.
Wait, aren't those symbols of, like, ultimate military authority, usually just for the emperor?
Precisely. They signify the power to wage war independently, granting Jichang sole authority over military campaigns. It's an absolutely unprecedented amount of power to give a former prisoner.
That's insane. What possible justification does Yu Han give for that?
Well, the logic he presents is dangerously persuasive to someone like King Zhu. He argues that if they send Jichang back to rule his territory, Shiki, his famous reputation for virtue, will intimidate the rebels in the east and south.
So he's basically saying, this guy you imprisoned, he's actually so respected he can solve your rebellion problem for you.
Exactly. He's framing a potential enemy, someone with every reason to hate the king, as a loyal general who will restore order for the king. It's a catastrophic misjudgment by Zhu.
Driven entirely by ego and the flattery he desperately needs, and Zhu buys it.
Hook, line, and sinker, he's overjoyed. Praises Yu Han's talent and wisdom, Fei Zong's knack for saving the virtuous. He's completely lost in the flattery, can't see this setup at all.
What does that kind of delirium, that blindness, actually cost a ruler?
Everything, eventually. It shows you what happens when leaders value flattery over truth. He thinks he's being generous, powerful, forgiving, but he's actually just unleashed the very person who has the moral authority and now the means to challenge his entire dynasty.
So he issues the decree immediately. Pardon Jichang, send him home with honors.
Right away. Expedite his departure. It's such a pivotal moment. There's even a poem in the text that basically lays it all out. The 7 years ending, the bribery, Zhu's terrible judgment, the new title, and it even hints at future events, like meeting Jiang Zia or Taigong. It's like a prophecy embedded in the narrative.
Okay, so while King Zhu is celebrating his own supposed genius in the capital, Chaosh, let's shift scenes. Miles away in the prison at Yuli. What's happened with Jichang?
It's a world away emotionally. Jichang is deep in grief. He's thinking about his son, Bo Yukao, and that horrific, unthinkable act, having to eat his own son's flesh just to survive. He called it a temporary measure, a tactical necessity, but imagine the scar that leaves.
The psychological weight must be immense.
Almost unbearable. But it also shows his incredible strength, his foresight. Then something happens. A strange wind suddenly gusts, knocks down 2 roof tiles, and they shatter.
An omen.
Exactly. Jichang, being a master of divination, immediately consults the I Ching using coins and trigrams. He interprets this strange omen. It means the emperor's pardon is on its way.
Wow. So he knows before anyone tells him.
Yes. He tells his entourage to prepare, even though they can't believe it. They think he's maybe, losing it after 7 years.
But he's right.
He's absolutely right. Soon after, the imperial envoy arrives with the official pardon.
And the reaction from the local people in Yuli.
It's incredibly moving, a total contrast to King Zhu's court. The elders, the ordinary people, they all line the road, they bring gifts, they weep.
Why? He was their prisoner, technically.
But during his 7 years there, despite being imprisoned, he taught them. He shared his moral philosophy. They say he made everyone, young and old, know loyalty and filial piety, women know chastity. He created this beautifully transformed society just through his presence and teachings. They're losing his guidance, his reign and dew, as they put it.
That's powerful. It shows where real influence comes from, not just titles and force.
Precisely. King Zhu rules through fear and lives in luxury, swayed by lies. Jichang, through suffering and virtue, built genuine loyalty and respect. He's moved too, asks them to keep following his teachings. True leadership versus tyranny.
So Jichang finally heads back to the capital, Chaozhou.
Yes, with this genuine outpouring of respect following him. In Zhou, he's met by the few remaining good officials, Wei Zi, Ji Big An, people who see the rot in the court.
How does he greet them?
He's incredibly humble, still attributes his release to their blessings, acknowledging the quiet support network.
And his audience with King Zhou, the man who killed his son.
He plays the part he needs to play. Still wearing mourning white, he prostrates himself, expresses overwhelming gratitude for his rebirth.
And King Zhou.
Lays on the fake magnanimity thick. Praises Jichang's loyalty despite being unjustly imprisoned, completely ignoring his own role in it. Then he formally grants the pardon, the title Elder of 100 Dukes, the military authority with the staff and axe, control of shiki, money, officers, the works.
And orders a big celebration.
Oh, yeah. A huge banquet and a 3-day parade through the capital. A massive public relations exercise for King Zhou.
Tell us about the banquet. The sources describe it vividly, right?
They do. It's in the Longday Palace.
Yeah.
Pure extravagance. Exquisite decorations, beautiful palace maids serving incredibly rare foods, bear paws, ape lips, exotic fruits like lychees and pomegranates, the finest wines, constant music, just complete sensory overload.
Almost grotesque given the context. A party celebrating a pardon bought with bribe.
Exactly. And then the parade, the Kuoguan, the parade of glory. It's meant to show off the king's generosity.
What did that look like?
Imagine rows of banners, soldiers with spears and ceremonial axes, golden gourds, imperial yellow flags, leopard tail standards, the whole 9 yards. People flock to see Jichang. They hail him as a loyal duke, a sage.
But there's an unintended consequence to this spectacle, isn't there?
Absolutely. While King Zhou thinks he's solidifying his own image, this grand public display actually legitimizes Jichang. It reinforces his virtue and authority in the eyes of the people. It makes him even more powerful, ironically.
Okay, this is where the plot thickens dramatically. During this very parade,
Yes, a chance encounter. Or perhaps not entirely chance. He meets Huang Feihu.
King Wuchang, the top military
The
commander.
very same. Huang Feihu is returning from military drills. Jichang respectfully gets off his horse. Huang Feihu, showing equal respect despite Jichang's recent status, also dismounts.
A meeting of two honorable men in a corrupt court.
You feel that immediately. Huang Feihu invites Jichang to his home for a meal. A gesture of humble friendship, he calls it.
Setting the stage for something important.
Definitely. Evening comes, candles are lit. Huang Feihu dismisses all his attendants. It's clear this is going to be serious and secret.
And Huang Feihu doesn't mince words.
Not at all. He delivers this incredibly blunt, stark warning about King Zhou. He lists it all. Trusting corrupt scum like Fei Zong and Yu Hun, ignoring good advice, hurting loyal ministers, the obsession with wine and women, neglecting state affairs, refusing any criticism.
And the torture methods.
Yes, the powwow, that horrific burning pillar in the Chapin, the snake pit. He lays bare the tyranny, and he points to the rebellions raging in the southeast as proof the kingdom is falling apart. This is the unvarnished truth, the exact opposite of the flattery Zhou just swallowed.
What a moment. What does he advise Jichang to do?
He urges him passionately to escape, uses these powerful images. The dragon returns to the great sea, the tiger enters the deep mountains. Break free, basically. He asks, what's the point of this fancy parade when there hasn't been a single just decree in the court for 3 days? It's a call to action based on a higher loyalty, not to the corrupt king, but to justice, to the realm.
How does Jichang react?
Yeah.
He must be moved, but escaping is risky.
Deeply moved. He calls it golden advice. But he's practical. He worries about the 5 passes, these heavily guarded checkpoints between the capital and his home territory. Shiki.
A legitimate concern.
But Huang Feihu is prepared. He reassures Jichang, says basically, don't worry, I have the authority. He produces official copper tokens and arrow-shaped warrants that control passage.
He's risking everything to help him.
Absolutely. And he gives him a plan. Disguise yourself as a Night Scout, use these warrants, and you'll get through without trouble. It's a bold, carefully planned act of treason against King Zhou, but loyalty to Jichang, and perhaps to China's future.
So the escape happens that night.
Yes. Around the second watch, maybe 9, 10, 11 p.m., Huang Feihu's trusted deputies, Long Huan and Wu Shan, quietly open the west gate of Chej.
And Jichang slips out.
Slips out into the darkness, unseen. Gone. just hours after that massive parade, celebrating his promotion and supposed loyalty. It's this quiet, secret act that completely undermines the king's spectacle and control.
What an incredible sequence of events. From corrupt officials accidentally freeing a hero,
To that hero's quiet endurance, his foresight.
the deceptive celebrations, and then this sudden daring escape, thanks to an unexpected ally.